For some, the holiday season means gathering around the fireplace and dinner table to celebrate the holidays with their closest family in the happiest of settings. Regardless of race or religion, the holiday season brings out the best in most people and inspires them to gather with their loving families for the winter months. However, this is not always the case for every family, as hundreds of families nationwide are separated, and contact between parents and children is severed through years of court battles and custody disputes. For two parents in particular, Daryl and Dana are reminded of Daryl's ongoing court battles with an ex-girlfriend over child support for his estranged daughter of over 11 years.
Alright, so can you explain what the court case was about? How many years ago was it?
It was 11 years ago, 2004. And I was trying to fight for custody of my daughter because I knew that my ex-common law partner was fully intent on taking her away from me so that I'd never have any contact with her for the foreseeable future, which turned out to be 11 years. So, no. She made it absolutely unbearable to try to have contact with my daughter. False accusations to the police, to Children's Aid. Got thrown in jail when she accused me of threatening to kill her and the children. So that was another $5,000 to clear my name in criminal court. I was never found guilty. I didn't do anything. So from then on, they were seeking supervised visitation with my daughter, and I wouldn't agree to it because I was guilty of nothing. So I would not put her through that. So,
would you say you were discriminated against at all by the police or the court system or any judge?
Yeah, I guess there was a bias that I tried my best. I spent an awful lot of money, probably between $50,000 and $70,000, to lawyers and that did nothing. I had the feeling, this is just my opinion, that lawyers, until you got up to the $100,000 mark to fill their tank, so to speak, they really weren't going to do much to help you. So I was just regularly abused and discriminated against by my ex because she felt she had the right to take away my daughter. And yeah, the course just doesn't work. If you don't have enough money, you're not going to win. You're not going to have a hope in heck. So I did remarry and I have a new family. I have two wonderful stepchildren, which I consider my own, and I have a beautiful wife, and we've been married now for 10 years, and none of this nonsense that went on in a previous life, none. So it's been a good life, and I'm pretty happy with my life.
And it was 11 years until your common law ex came back?
11 years, and then she came back for child support. Not only did she come back for child support moving forward, she decided, I don't know why, what motivated her, but when she told me to sign off on my access in 2004 to get me out of my daughter's life, which she was never going to let me see her anyways, then she came back in 2014 with a letter saying that she wanted my last three years of tax returns, and she wanted child support moving forward, and she also was coming after me for 10 years of arrears for the child in my opinion, for all intents and purposes, the child she stole from me.
So do you think the court systems operate unfairly to either gender? Do you think they pandered more towards the mother in the situations?
Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely towards the mother. In this case, not always. I have friends that have lost their children too, and they're the mother. But yeah, in cases like this, I was paying the full way. I was paying for anybody and everybody to help me and to ensure my daughter's rights, and nobody cared. Nobody cared about her rights because she was only 3 years old at the time. The mother had full say, full control. So,
do you think it's right that she's able to come back after all this time, after not being able to see her?
No. There's no bond. The mother made sure of it. There's no bond. There's no love. There's no anything. Not on my daughter's part, because she's been told that I'm a monster.
When you think of child support and custody battles, generally you would associate the mother being in the right and the stereotypical deadbeat dad refusing to pay. What the public doesn't see and doesn't hear is that the father isn't always trying to get away from his obligations as a father and is sometimes bullied in the courts or slandered as a villain in these cases.
So how has the return of his, I believe it was ex-Commonwealth partner?
Yes.
Affected your family?
It's affected our family largely financially, for sure, because not only does he now have to catch up with the child support that he wasn't paying because he wasn't seeing her, he did sign off his visitation 10 years ago and thought that was the end of it. So now we have monthly child support on top of arrears owing back 3 years.
What do you think is wrong with the Canadian family court system?
I think that there's no consequences with certain dads that are willing to pay the child support. However, they lump them all into the same category. So let's say that you are a dad that pays, they come down on you a lot harder if you say miss one payment or you're late for one payment. Whereas if you have a dad that owes a large number of months in arrears, they don't really do much to them. I believe the quote that I've had said to me was, "You can't get blood from a stone."
Stats Canada reports that upwards of 1.2 million Canadians have children aged 18 or younger during the divorce, as of 2011. In that same year, it was reported that 7 in 10 cases reported having the child be homed with the mother as their primary residence. Data gathered from the same study found that 60% of fathers did not act as the primary caretaker of the child, or children were not permitted, or simply did not see their children in 12 months. Only 1/3 of these families decided on child support and visitation as a joint effort, while the remaining percentage were decided by a sole parent, the mother acting as that parent the majority of the time. The Canadian family court system may operate under the fairest rules that our government can come up with, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always right. Is it right to deny a man the right to see his daughter? If that man signed away his rights to that child 11 years ago, should the mother be able to come back for payment of all those years? Should she be able to disrupt his new family with painful memories of the past? The family court system seems to think so. Maybe take the time this holiday season to appreciate the family you do have, separated, divided, or still together.